All right, family. So in this video, I'm going to talk a little bit more in depth about the trucking profession. I just did a YouTube short the other day, and I was asking the question, do you guys think it's a bad idea for a young person that doesn't have a lot going for them in life right now to be thinking, I'm going to get my CDL, I'm going to drive a truck for 10 years, I'm going to literally live in a truck for 10 years. I'm not going to have any personal expenses whatsoever. I'm going to save 100% of what I make for 10 years driving a truck. Not going to spend anything, just going to make money. And I'm going to change my financial future forever. I just asked this question the other day on a short. And I know a lot of you guys out there right now in the trucking community are hearing a lot of negative things about trucking. Trucking's in the dumps. Trucking's no good. Trucking hasn't been good since the 80s. Trucking is in decline. We're going to address some of that stuff in this video. So before I get started, I want to make a bold promise. I'm going to guarantee. I want you guys to listen to what I'm going to share with you in this video, what I'm going to talk about in this video. And my promise to you is that you're going to come away from this video with a different perspective. That is absolutely what I'm trying to achieve in this video. So if you're a truck driver and you're enjoying your trucking career, my promise to you is by the end of this video, you are going to come away with a different perspective on trucking, a better perspective on trucking. If you're hating your trucking career and you think it was one of the worst decisions you ever made and you hate trucking, I'm going to change your perspective in this video. So that's the promise. Whether you're doing good in trucking or whether you're sucking in trucking, you're going to come away from this video with a better perspective if you listen and really ponder on some of the stuff that I'm going to talk about in this video. That's the promise by the end of this video. So you stick with me to the end of this video, I guarantee you'll come away with a different perspective. All right. So let's go in. I got a lot of stuff that's on my mind that I want to kind of get off of my mind and get you guys' perspective on. I want to know what you guys think in reference to the stuff that I'm talking about. So make sure you take the time to let me know in the comments. Don't matter whether you agree with what I'm saying or don't. Doesn't matter. Let's get the discussion going. OK, so let's deal with that. Let's deal with the main question first. In your opinion, is it a bad idea for a young person that doesn't have anything going for them, anything positive going for them, haven't done well in school, they don't really have a trade, and they don't really know how they're going to they don't know how they're gonna find a way to make some money in this life. So this young person that doesn't have a lot going for them is thinking, I'm going to get a CDL. I'm going to live in the truck. I'm not going to have any personal expenses because trucking allows you to be able to do that. I'm going to live in the truck for 10 years, save 100% of my money, and I'm going to change my life. Even though the trucking profession is messed up right now, the question is that a bad idea for a young person to be thinking that? Is that a viable plan, or is trucking not that profession anymore? Can trucking not do anything for that individual because things are so bad in trucking? That's the question, right? So I'm listening to a young person say that the other day. I overheard a couple of young people talking. I know a little bit about them, and one of them was saying that's exactly what they're going to do. They don't have a lot going for them. Now, when I heard the young person say that, a couple things popped into my mind. The first thing that popped into my mind is all the crap that I hear talked about in regards to trucking, in regards to the state of trucking and the trucking profession, and how, truck drivers get treated like crap. You don't want to be a truck driver. You can't make no money on the road. You don't want to be out here. That's the first thing I thought about when I heard that young person say that. I'm like, well, is this a viable plan for him to be thinking that, or is trucking in such a bad state that he shouldn't even be thinking that way, right? So I did the short the other day. Now, before I get into this, there's some comments on the short that I did that I want to read, that I want to point out here. One person says in the comments of the short video, OTR doesn't pay like it used to. I believe many OTR companies are trying to take advantage of young folk. As a local driver, you can make just as much and be home every night or day. Another person comments, I've been trucking since '08. I made a lot and spent a lot. 8 years OTR, 9 years local. It's okay to be OTR. I wouldn't do 10 years in a truck though. I'm local contractor doing 130,000 a year. Another person says, yes, it's worth it. And I could do that with no problem, live in a truck for 10 years, as long as I own the truck. These trucking companies aren't crap. And I flatly refuse to go back to working in an office. Another person comments, sacrifice, commitment, and discipline will get you anything you want. I promise you. Another person says, trucking is not a bad option, especially if you have a plan and stick to it. I drive trucks, started out OTR, then found a local outfit, home daily, making well over 140,000. If you live in a truck within 3 to 5 years, you could have a decent savings, a house, and a nice vehicle if you are single. But even with a family, you could definitely support your household. Also, you don't have student loans. Only option better or comparable would be the military. Another person says, hell no, join the military and you could do twice as much. So those are a few of the comments on the short that I did. Now, the reason I'm doing this, a longer version of this video, is because I want to get into this in a little bit more depth. Some of those comments that I just now read, not really going to give my opinion on whether I feel what they're saying is true or not. I do feel like those comments that I just now read out kind of missed the mark. In other words, there's people saying in the comments that you can do better, like going to the military. That might be a better option. Like, don't live in the truck. Just, one person said he's a local truck driver. He's doing 130,000 a year, so he wouldn't do that. All that's fine and dandy. The thing I'm trying to, what I want to dwell on here is this young person that doesn't have a lot going for them. So yeah, can you go and make more money not living in the truck, like being a local truck driver instead of, being OTR and living in the truck, right? And just doing whatever the company tells you to do. You might can. But understand something, that when you're a local truck driver or anything that you're doing where you got to come home every day, that's the key word right there. You're coming home every day. Home has expenses, rent, mortgage, lights, utilities, car, having to get back and forth different places to your job. Like you could go and work at McDonald's for 10 years and live with your parents, live in your parents' basement, right? You could do that and save 100% of what you make that way as well. You could sacrifice for 10 years, not spend any money. You could do that doing anything. But some things I want to point out in regards to trucking, like how many professions out there basically give you the house along with the job? So one person said, the military would be a good option as well. As I'm thinking about this, the military is another option. If a person wanted to say, for 10 years, I'm going to grind, I'm going to make money, I'm not going to spend anything, I'm not going to have any personal expenses, I'm not going to have a house, I'm not going to have a car. You could do that in the military and save 100% of what you make and do that for 10 years. And in 10 years after doing that, your life would likely be on a total different trajectory. Your life would probably never be the same again because you were willing to pay those kind of dues for 10 years. The point that I'm making, or one of the points that I'm making, or that I want to point out here, is how many other professions allow you to be able to make, we'll say 60,000 on the low end. I would think a truck driver that's out running the road, not coming home, okay? Because that's one of the biggest things that keeps people from making money when they're OTR or regional. They want to come home. But, if a person says, I don't need to go home, I don't care nothing about partying, I don't want home bills, I don't have obligations, I don't have children, I'm going to work my ass off for the next 10 years. I'm willing to put that in. And because I don't have any personal expenses, that's going to enable me to be able to save 100% of my money. I can live inside the truck because trucking is a profession where the truck can be your home. Most of us aren't going to do that. We don't want to do that, obviously, but could it be done is the question. And if it could be done, again, how many other professions afford an individual that type of possibility, that type of opportunity. Again, you can go and work anywhere and live in your parents' basement rent free for 10 years. You could possibly do that. And, you would be listening to the landlord or your parents. They would be on you because ain't nobody gonna let you live rent free with them for 10 years, probably, right? So, but if you were to put that type of attitude in trucking and say, I don't care about coming home, don't need to be home. I want to work for 10 years. I don't care about nothing else. And I'm going to save 100% of my money. Like, what other professions can you do that? Can you make 60,000 plus and be in a position potentially, if you're willing to pay your dues, to not have to literally spend any of it? And again, if you can do that in any profession for 10 years, it's going to put you way ahead of other people. The question is, can you do that in trucking? Does trucking still provide that type of opportunity for people, even though people hate trucking right now and, rates are low and, all this stuff that people are saying is going on in trucking? At the end of the day, is that opportunity still there for that individual that doesn't have any obligations and willing to work? Is that a viable plan for them? Is that something that is realistic? I would say it is. Now, again, we know that most people aren't going to want to do that, but can it be done? Is it possible is the question. Okay. So these people that are commenting on the shorts talking about how, I make $130,000 a year. Yeah, we know that. But you also probably got $60,000, $70,000 worth of expenses at your home. You can't save 100% of what you make unless you got a spouse that makes a bunch of money that and none of your income is required to take care of the home. You could save 100,000. You could save 100% of what you make for 10 years and change your financial trajectory forever. You absolutely could do that. But I would say that, trucking still, in my opinion, provides that type of opportunity if the person is willing to sacrifice. Let me know if I'm wrong about that down in the comments. Now, here's the next thing when you really think about that, because like I'm learning a lot right now. Okay. So when I listen online and I hear so many people talking trash about how crappy the trucking industry is right now, family, I'm about to get deep with y'all right now. Okay. Some people's attitude sucks. And I'm 49 years old, and what I feel like I know to be true is that anything that you do with the wrong attitude is not going to work out for you. So people that are out there basically blaming their shitty life on the fact that trucking is a little bit volatile right now, or not where people want it to be. Let's just call a spade a spade. But if you're one of those people that's blaming your shitty life on that, I'm here to tell you, the problem might not be trucking, bruh. The problem might not be trucking, sis. The problem might be your attitude. I was discussing something with somebody the other day, and like a couple people the other day, actually, and we all kind of came to the same conclusion. I don't care what type of opportunity you got in front of you. If you're not able to see it, if you don't have the right attitude towards what you're doing, you're probably not going to get the right result. So if you got a shitty attitude towards trucking, you're probably not going to have the right result. These same people could leave trucking, go into another profession, and as soon as there's something presented to them to complain about, they will start complaining. Their attitude will go in the dumps. As a result, their experience with what they're doing will go into the dump, because your experience with a thing follows your attitude towards the thing. It's not the other way around. It's absolutely not the other way around, right? So, but I'm just saying that if you got a crappy attitude, don't expect trucking to work for you. Don't expect anything to work for you if you have a crappy attitude. And a lot of these people that are trashing trucking right now, I question whether it's because of trucking or it's because they have a shitty attitude. We all in the same profession. I love the opportunity that trucking provides me. My father was a lifelong truck driver ever since he was years old. He's a lifelong truck driver. He raised 3 boys. And had a house and all of this good stuff. He had all of this going on, and it was all because he had a CDL and he knew how to drive a truck. My dad didn't have a college education. He didn't have a whole bunch of extra, all of this stuff that people have to have in order to make good money and live a good lifestyle. He just had a CDL and knew how to drive a truck, and because of that, he was able to great lifestyle for his family. Family, if my mic is going in and out, I'm trying to talk loud enough so you can hear me either way, but I'm not going to. So just roll with me. Again, I'm trying to change your perspective. I'm trying to help you to put things in their proper perspective, because going around looking at trucking and thinking that is your problem, that's the reason why you are not having a good life right now. I'm just trying to plant the seed that maybe you might want to look at your attitude. Okay. Because again, we're all in the same profession. Trucking for me has absolutely changed my lifestyle. I wish that I could find a picture of the single wide that I used to live in before trucking afforded me the opportunity to buy the house for my family that we live in right now. Me and my family live a good life. Is it perfect? Absolutely not. Does that am I all of my financial needs met and I don't have any financial problems? Absolutely not. But I'd be foolish to listen to some of you guys and look at the trucking profession and be ungrateful for what it has done for me and for my family. My wife works 2 days a week. She doesn't have to work a full-time job. We're not in that position because I got a CDL, because I know how to drive a truck. I was out today doing my runs today, and the drop that I did today was right around the corner from kind of a rough neighborhood, an urban neighborhood, people walking around looking bad. And as I'm seeing some of these people, walk around in this neighborhood, I'm thinking to myself, man, if these people had a CDL and they had a responsible bone in their body, they wouldn't have to be walking around in 30-degree weather. They probably wouldn't be living the way they are if they only had a CDL and some responsibility and knew how to drive a truck. I feel like even in the current environment that a lot of people will acknowledge is not ideal in trucking is still, you got to be grateful, family. You got to be grateful. To look at something and only see the negative in it, the problem might not be the thing you're looking at. The problem might be you. Okay, we talking about changing your perspective. When you're at a point in life where you're hating your life, you don't want to get up, you're tired all the time, you don't enjoy what you're doing, you're not looking forward to your day, you know your day is going to be bad before you even start. In reality, the problem could be that you're a part of the wrong opportunity. It could be that you're engaged in the wrong type of work. That could be the problem. But again, the problem could be you, family. It's the grass is greener on the other side mentality. And for most people, it's easier to think that the grass is greener on the other side as opposed to thinking, maybe I need to start trying to water the grass where I am. Because in my opinion, the grass is not greener on the other side. The grass is greener on the side that you water it. And to me, gratitude is the water. Okay, so you like call a spade, okay? Like change the subjects for a second. If you got a good woman, but all you do is nag her, or if you got a good man and all you do is nag him and all you do is see the negative in what he doesn't do or won't do, or all you see is the negative in your woman, you have a hard time seeing any of her good attributes. Guess what? You are not gonna bring the best out of that woman. You're not going to bring the best out of that man. And that's what we're talking about, bringing the best out of your current situation, whether it's a relationship, greener grass on the other side, or this trucking profession that a lot of you are out here shitting on.